Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming. What you're about to hear isn't just another basketball story. This is the kind of moment that turns a rising star into a living legend. It happened inside a quiet Iowa gym. No bright lights, no screaming fans, just Caitlyn Clark, a scoreboard, and a bunch of guys from the men's Iowa practice squad who were about to learn a painful lesson.
Caitlyn Clark got asked about this by David Letterman.
We have a practice team that's just all guys. I think we were down 15. So we make a couple threes. We cut it to 10, maybe, I don't even know.
Now when you say we make a couple of threes, was it you or was everybody making threes?
It was me, but the points went to the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I think I had 22 points in 2 minutes was the moral of the story.
I'm sorry.
15 points behind with only minutes remaining. Caitlyn Clark didn't fear or hesitate. Instead, she went on one of the most ridiculous scoring sprees ever, scoring 22 points in only 2 minutes, leaving everyone, including herself, in complete disbelief.
We had a high school girls basketball team there that day, so we had a little audience, and we were up in our practice gym, and they were jumping out of their chairs, going crazy. Usually I never react when something like I hit a big shot, or I do, but never in a shocked way. After my 5th 3 in a row in a minute, I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. I was running around, and we ended up winning, and our boy practice players didn't hear the end of it. They still don't. I still love to bring it up to them. We talk a lot of crap, so.
This wasn't an anomaly. This was greatness on show, not luck, and we're going to tell the whole tale today. What actually transpired during that famous scrimmage, why the video went viral, and how Caitlyn Clark's performance solidified her status as one of the game's most prolific scorers.
She is highly likable. I think that lends itself to her popularity is she comes across as somebody that's really just respectful, likable. There's other players out there that just don't come across that way.
You will understand why Caitlyn Clark has a different build after reading the story. So if you're a loyal fan, express your love in the comment section right now and type Caitlyn GOAT.
Number 1 in your heart, Caitlyn Elizabeth Clark.
This narrative took place where legends are subtly constructed inside a practice gym at the University of Iowa. It wasn't shown on national television, nor did it take place during the NCAA tournament or the WNBA championships.
I think the key is this squad was down by 15 to these guys, and they came back and won.
There was this one scrimmage that would become basketball legend before Caitlyn Clark became well-known, broke records, and took over the WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark is the GOAT!
She signed my jersey! I'm so happy, I'm crying, I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlyn Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
It was prior to her sophomore year at Iowa, and like most elite programs, the women's basketball team had a men's practice squad. These weren't professional athletes or former college standouts, but rather regular volunteers from Iowa who were passionate about the sport and athletic enough to provide the women's team with fierce practice competition.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
The atmosphere in the gym was different that day. Visitors were seated in the bleachers to watch a local high school ladies basketball team in hopes of catching a glimpse of their heroes, but instead they experienced something far greater.
Yes, I understand this is a men's practice squad. I get that. I'm sorry, I don't know a world where I'm going to exactly poo-poo 22 points in 2 minutes.
But everyone who knows Caitlyn Clark knows that's not the right time to write her off. And this is where the narrative really takes off. Before years later, when video of the scrimmage began to circulate online and ignite heated discussions all over the world, people had no idea it even existed.
Caitlyn Clark's team was down by 15 when she began knocking down three-pointers.
David Letterman mentioned it on his Netflix show. My next guest needs no introduction. Sitting across from Caitlyn Clark jaw dropped as she told the story herself, after some people believed it was a myth and others insisted it actually happened. Neither Letterman nor ESPN reporters nor internet viewers could believe that this wasn't a staged event. This was not a charitable defense. When Caitlyn Clark decided to change the narrative while facing a 15-point disadvantage against a group of boys in a gym, she did so on the hardwood floor. However, nobody, not even Caitlyn, was prepared for what came next. Most players would celebrate a shot like that, but Caitlyn Clark didn't blink. She caught the ball at the top of the key and let it fly from way beyond the three-point line, splashing nothing but net. What happened next is the kind of thing that sounds made up until you see it with your own eyes down, 15 points, clock ticking, the game slipping away. Seconds after the warm-up, the ball came back to her. The group of high school girls watching in the gym began to go crazy when she walked even farther back toward the logo this time and launched another one, but Caitlyn wasn't finished. Not even close.
Caitlyn Clark's already considerable legend continues to grow. Thanks to David Letterman and Netflix, the WNBA star appeared on the latest episode of Letterman's program, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
She was already in the zone, so the men's practice team knew what was coming and tried to close out faster, but it didn't matter. She moved without the ball like a seasoned pro, caught another pass in time, and fired again money shot after shot. She was torching the net from distances that most players wouldn't even try in a real game. Game 5 three-pointers, then 6, then 7. At this point, even Caitlyn Clark herself admitted she was shocked. She rarely shows emotion on the court, but after the 5th straight three-pointer in less than a minute, even she couldn't believe it. She started smiling, running around the gym in pure disbelief. And remember, this wasn't happening in front of 10,000 screaming fans. This was a practice gym, no camera crew, no fancy graphics, just raw basketball. But the high school girls in the audience, they were losing it, jumping out of their chairs, screaming like they were watching history unfold. Because they were the men's team, tried everything, they got physical, they closed the gap, they forced her deep into NBA range. But it made no difference.
The practice session has taken on near mythological proportions in the 5 years since it was played in Iowa City. ESPN's Wright Thompson wrote about it for a March 2024 profile of Clark, talking to teammates, coaches, and student managers who witnessed the performance.
The best part was that her team pulled off a comeback and won the scrimmage. And let me tell you, those guys on the men's practice squad are still talking about it. Caitlyn Clark was locked in at 22 points in 2 minutes. 3 after 3 after 3, raining down like it was nothing. Caitlyn Clark acknowledged years later that she still enjoys making jokes about it with them and brings it up whenever she can, because when she gets cooking, it doesn't matter who is protecting her man-woman practice squad pro elite. This was evidence that if you give her a chance, it's already too late, because whenever a story like this comes up, especially when it involves a generational talent like Caitlyn Clark, you already know what will happen next. The haters will show up, and that's exactly what. When the video of this scrimmage went viral, some people behind keyboards quickly downplayed it, saying things like, "Oh, it was just a practice. She was playing against guys who aren't even athletes. That doesn't count. Those were just random students." But let's stop there. That's the kind of lazy criticism people throw out when they don't understand greatness, because the critics don't realize that the rim doesn't lower just because it's practice, the three-point line doesn't move closer just because the defenders aren't pros, and the scoreboard, it takes an unbelievable amount of skill to do what Caitlyn Clark did when she pulled up from the logo. Those were actual shots from the NBA range, real defenders in her face, and real moments under real pressure.
Was asked about Caitlyn Clark.
Coach Krzyzewski, listen to what he said.
Yeah, well, she's terrific, and it'd be easy to build something on her because she's the best thing she does is pass. She's a magical passer, and she has a great feel for the game. So, I mean, what her coach did, I would have done exactly what she did. Make sure she handles the ball a lot, and she'll make everybody better. And what I was amazed with at how she's handled all the defenses, and then when she got into the WNBA, some of the negativity that was out there, or jealousies. And I think she's just been remarkable. She's a really good basketball player. Yeah.
To be clear, this wasn't a pointless scrimmage with everyone jogging around. Caitlyn Clark's team was behind by 15 points in the men's division. You don't score 22 points in 2 minutes from deep range just by being hot or lucky. You do it because you spent years perfecting your craft and thousands of hours in empty gyms when no one was watching. You've trained your shot to feel automatic no matter who is guarding you. Basketball shooting is the great equalizer: speed, strength, and height, all of which can be neutralized when a player has the ability to pull up from anywhere on the court and hit shots with deadly accuracy, and Caitlyn Clark has mastered that art. We're talking about a player who led the NCAA in scoring, a player who became the all-time leading scorer in both men's and women's college basketball. The practice squad wasn't letting her walk into shots. They were trying to win, they were getting physical, and they were doing everything they could to stop her, but it didn't matter. History of basketball with 3,951 points, a player who entered the WNBA as a rookie and immediately began making logo threes as if it were normal, and that Iowa scrimmage wasn't an anomaly. Rather, it was a sign of things to come. Let's not forget that the video of that scrimmage wasn't released because Caitlyn Clark wanted to flaunt it. Rather, it was released because those who were present and saw it couldn't stop talking about it years later, including ESPN journalist Wright Thompson. A thorough description of Clark that attests to the fact that her teammates, coaches, and student managers all supported the story because they witnessed it and experienced it firsthand. For Caitlyn Clark, however, that's just another workday, which is why she's unique. She is compared to Steph Curry for this reason, not only because of her range, but also because of her confidence, fearlessness, and ability to take control of a game at any time and render defenders defenseless, whether it is during practice or the WNBA Finals. Caitlyn Clark only knows how to play one-way full throttle no fear lights out shooting, and let me say this loud and clear for anyone still doubting her.
Clark went on to become the all-time leading scorer in college basketball history, men's and women's, with 3,951 points. Of course, she was the WNBA Rookie of the Year and scored over 19 points as a rookie.
If scoring 22 points in 2 minutes against male defenders from deep range under pressure isn't impressive to you, then maybe you've never picked up a basketball in your life, because real hoopers know real hoopers respected that moment didn't just silence the critics, it added another chapter to the growing legend of Caitlyn Clark, and something tells me she's just getting started. And that right there is why Caitlyn Clark is not just a great player, she's a once-in-a-generation phenomenon. Anybody can score in a practice, anybody can hit an open shot here or there, but what Caitlyn Clark did that day was normal. It wasn't lucky, it wasn't overrated, it was legendary. 22 points in 2 minutes against men from distances that most NBA players wouldn't dare to pull from, and she did it with heart, with skill, and with a fearless mentality. That champions are made of. This story isn't just about basketball, it's about what happens when talent meets preparation. It's about proving doubters wrong without saying a single word, because your game speaks loud enough. Caitlyn,
I think that experiencing it, I love Caitlyn Clark fans, but Caitlyn Clark fans is different. They like C-Square, shout out to the gang, like different. They are very passionate people, and like they gonna ride or die. Like,
listen, Caitlyn Clark is a god to her friends. She does no wrong. Do not play. Do not play with her fans.
Let's just say C-Square, I'm happy I'm on the right end of it.
We on the right end of the stick, baby. Because
I hate to be.
Listen,
because
they love us right now. But if we go right left, it's over for us.
Yeah. Caitlyn Clark fans, I love you back. I promise. Please stop. Like her fan, but like the one thing I would say about Caitlyn Clark fans that I can't appreciate, they'll go anywhere she go.
Oh, they gonna travel. She gonna travel.
And
right there. Right there
I just
with
think
her.
like it's super dope though, because it's like they would literally go anywhere she go, and so she's built that kind of platform. I'm like, damn, that's lit.
The association, they gave us a gym that I paid for, not entirely, but they took money out of my check and I paid for it.
You better get the fucking full usage of that.
Man, I got hot tub, cold tub, weight room, full court basketball room. I walk in today, I'm on one side working out, Caitlyn Clark on the other side.
Really?
I look at myself, there you go, 2 fucking legends, Patty.
Did you say what's up?
You know I say what's up, but I'm not the type to say what's up to interrupt your workout, because I don't like people to interrupt mine. She can shoot the shit out of it.
And the WNBA assist leader this past year.
She can shoot the shit out the ball.
She's a great shooter.
And she's one of those workout people, you know, got to think, anytime I hit the court, I got to hit that bike. I'm older now, so I got to get on that bike and stroll for a couple 5, 6, 7 minutes. So while I'm strolling through the park, I'm looking at her shoot it. And she's one of those shooters where, if you know, as a gym rat, you guys know, like, damn, bro, why you throw that pass bad? Give me the ball in my chest. I'm like, oh, she's a gangster also.
She's lighting people up.
Throw me the ball the way I want it.
What drill was it? What drill was she running?
I don't know. She was doing a 2-in-a-row corner wing. And if you miss, you have to go back to the next spot. And if you missed again, you have to go back to the starting spot. She had a nice drill. I'm literally still in it.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right. So she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. She's so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlyn.
Clark didn't need a packed arena to shine. She didn't need cameras or crowds to show up. When the moment called for greatness, she answered. And if this was just a practice scrimmage, imagine what The future holds records. Will fall history will be written, and Caitlyn Clark will be the author. Now it's your turn. I want to hear from the real fans if you believe Caitlyn Clark is already one of the greatest we've ever seen. Drop it loud and proud in the comments, Caitlyn GOAT, because that's exactly what she's becoming right in front of our eyes. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more exclusive stories like this, and turn on the notifications so you never miss another moment in Caitlyn Clark's incredible journey. This is just the beginning.